Hi, welcome or welcome back to Books and Bocadillos. My name is Mariandrea, and I have been away for a bit of time. And in some ways, this video is a bit of a catch up, but it's also a book haul. So the reason for this video is a book haul, but I wanted this to kind of be my first video of the year since I finished the 12 tags of Christmas. After I finished the tags, I was spent. I adopted a dog. I brought a dog home on January 2nd from the animal shelter for a pajama party, and it was wonderful. And I fell in love with my my fur baby, and I ended up adopting her on January 6th, and she's been a handful. She's kept me busy. She's changed my life. She's changed my schedule. So I am adjusting and doing a lot of deep breathing. So I thought I'd come to you and let you know why I've been a bit MIA lately. Um, I'm good. Everything's good. I'm happy. I love um, my fur baby, and I can't wait for you to meet her as soon as I can get her to I can get her to sit and stay long enough, or I can do a video without her being in my face all the time and just showing her tail off to you. I've tried, but if I sit down low to the ground, she wants to be on top of me. And if I try to sit in a chair, she wants to be on top of me. And I feel like there has to be a way that I can show her to you, and she doesn't like pictures. She gets really annoyed when I'm trying to take pictures of her. So we'll see. So for now, here is a book haul. These are the books that came into my life as gifts from the Christmas holiday or early in the year purchases. There is a train going by, so you might be hearing a train, and it's here. So the first book, I have a bag here for my book haul. This is my book haul. And the first book that I reached down and grabbed from it randomly was this one, 300 writing prompts. This is including lessons, tips, and instruction to help you become a better writer. I was so grateful for this. This was a Christmas present from my nephews. It's actually probably from my brother. I'm pretty sure he was the one who chose this as a gift for me, but the gift said it was from my nephews. So I was so grateful that my nephews and my brother and sister-in-law gave this to me because I am a writer, but I don't write. I am a writer, but I don't take my writing seriously. Like I doodle, I journal, and I always think I want to get back to write, like be more intentional with my writing. But I don't do enough of it. And I really like that my brother chose this for me because that tells me that he sees that in me and he wants to encourage me to um, get serious about it, give myself some time to exercise my writing. So yeah, this is really great. Next is this one. I showed this off in a previous video. This is Promises of Gold by Jose Olivarez, and one thing I love about this book is that it's one of those that flips. So you flip it over, and it's in Spanish, Promesas de Oro by Jose Olivarez. And the Spanish is translated by, you mentioned this before, I think it's David Ruano González. So this is a collection of poetry. And so my understanding, I have not started it yet, but I've heard a lot of talk about this, and I've actually listened to an interview with the author on the Stacks podcast. And he talked about how this is a collection of poetry, and the poetry in here is dedicated to friendship. So he writes friendship poems for his homies, and I thought that was really cool. I love this cover. I'll read one to you, just so you get a little taste. The first one that I flipped to is "Poetry is not therapy," but that doesn't mean I didn't try it. God knows, in those moments when it felt like my gut was being wrung like a wet rag, I wrote bad poem after bad poem. Who cares? Healing wasn't the point. Healing is a capitalist pursuit. After my grandma died, I measured everything in distance: 800 miles from my parents, 2,000 miles, 2,500 miles from where she was buried. Do you understand what I'm saying? I'll never close the distance. I wanted the hurting to stop, to write a poem I could hand all my friends asking me how I was doing. How am I doing? The distance between me and everyone I've lost grows by miles and years. The next few are books that I purchased on January 3rd when my friend from Houston came down for a visit, and I took her to an indie bookstore in Brownsville, and the indie bookstore is Boo Books in Brownsville. And she picked out some books for me that she thought I would enjoy, and I bought them because she picked them out for me. So I couldn't, when she picked them out for me, I couldn't just say no. The first one that she picked out for me is Son of Blood and Ruin by Lares. I talked about this in a recent tag video. I read the description. I'll read it just a little bit of this again. It says, rumor has it on the streets of 16th century New Spain, there's a new vigilante in town serving justice. This reimagining of Zorro, featuring a heroic warrior sorceress, weaves Mesoamerican mythology and Mexican history 2 decades after the Spanish conquest into the swashbuckling historical fantasy debut with magic, intrigue, treachery, and romance. And this has a lot of things that I love. It has 16th century New Spain. There's a vigilante. It's a reimagining of Zorro, a heroic warrior sorceress, Mesoamerican mythology, Mexican history, fantasy, magic, treachery, romance, and it's a debut novel. And there's a map inside of Mexico City. To me, it feels like just the right book. So I'm really glad my friend pulled this from the shelf and suggested it to me. Another one that she suggested to me is this one. It is Nicola Giuliato, and it's Huesos, Ossa. It's an Italian author, and it's told in Spanish and Italian. And the funny thing is that I was looking at my 23andMe results earlier, and I have some Italian ancestry, according to my DNA results. I do not know Italian. I do not read in Italian. I'm terrible. I could try to pronounce it, but I would do a terrible job. I can kind of understand a little bit, but I'm probably going to read the Spanish and peruse the Italian just to see how many words I can pinpoint. And this book has pictures. This poetry collection has pictures. I can't tell you what it's about because I have no idea, and the back is in Italian, and I don't understand Italian fully, so bones. Nota del autor, this is an author's note. Las fotografías que encuentras en este libro surgen como apuntes visuales realizados mientras recorría algunos lugares descritos en el relato poético presentado en esta obra. La historia está inspirada en eventos ocurridos en las ciudades cercanas de Brownsville, en Texas, Estados Unidos, y Heroica, Matamoros, en México. Son historias que se desarrollan en Brownsville, pero para luego extenderse a San Benito, Texas, cerca del puerto de Brownsville, y finalmente al cruzar a pie la frontera, llegando a Matamoros en el lado mexicano. Todo sucede entre notas de jazz, bebedores y buena compañía, entre artistas y personas sin hogar, entre un café en el centro de la ciudad estadounidense y mi hogar en Adams Street, donde viví, entre encuentros inesperados y eventos desagradables al otro lado del Río Grande en Matamoros. Aunque la narrativa está inspirada en hechos y personas reales, es un producto de la imaginación. Por lo tanto, cualquier referencia a personas existentes o eventos realmente ocurridos es puramente casual. A diferencia del texto poético, las imágenes solo transmiten una sensación soleada de vacío en un paisaje urbano decadente y solitario. Además de todo lo que contribuyeron a la realización de esta obra, agradezco en particular al poeta Francesco Crozatto por sus fundamentales sugerencias. También le doy un agradecimiento sincero a Alberto Munari, Sabrina Di Girolamo, Sabato Volpicelli, Alma Citlali Hernández Rodríguez, Federico Dilena y Marco Levati por haber apoyado la realización de esta obra adquirida cada uno una serie de fotografías. El libro está dedicado a mi querido padre, mi pilar intelectual, el que le dio a muchos, a mí todo. So, Nicola Giuliato lives in Brownsville, Texas, and she writes this collection of poems based on her life experience living on the border and walking from downtown Brownsville across the border into Matamoros, Mexico. I'm really, really curious just to see, because the Italian feels so like surprising. So yeah, I cannot wait to learn more about it and be able to talk about it more coherently. And then another collection of poetry that I picked up. This is from Buenos Aires Poetry. It's titled Espiral by Cristina Cavazos. I also bought this. This was also I bought it at Buo, and this was also in the local section. So this says, una selección de poemas donde la voz de la autora se lanza por un camino de evidentes dualidades, donde explora las vías del amor y del odio, la rabia y la serenidad, la vida y la muerte. Aunque parecerían lejanos, Cristina nos muestra cómo los opuestos en realidad están muy cerca uno del otro en las imágenes que nos regala a través de la palabra. So she's talking about dualities. So exploring love and hate, rage and serenity, life and death, and juxtaposing them through imagery. All About Love by Bell Hooks. My friend and I read a book together, and in that book there were a lot of references to bell hooks. So I'm really curious to read this. Maya Angelou blurbed it that each offering from Bell Hooks is a major event as she has so much to give us. The acclaimed first volume in her love song to the nation. The back says, the word love is most often defined as a noun, yet we would all love better if we used it as a verb, writes Bell Hooks as she comes out fighting and on fire in All About Love. Here at her most provocative and intensely personal, the renowned scholar, cultural critic, and feminist skewers our view of love as romance. In its place, she offers a proactive new ethic for people and a society bereft with lovelessness. As Bell Hooks uses her incisive mind and razor-sharp pen to explore the question, what is love, her answers strike at both the mind and heart. In 13 concise chapters, Hooks examines her own search for emotional connection and society's failure to provide a model for learning to love. Raising the cultural paradigm that the ideal love is infused with sex and desire, she provides a new path to love that is sacred, redemptive, and healing for individuals and for the nation. The Utne reader declared Bell Hooks one of the 100 visionaries who can change your life. All About Love is powerful affirmation of just how profoundly she can. maybe inspired by the season, Valentine's Day. Sometimes Valentine's Day seems to me like a very superficial, very like capitalistic holiday because Valentine's Day. I don't know. I have a weird relationship with Valentine's Day. But in the spirit of love and what is love and in the celebration of love, I thought, why not read this book? And this feels like my cup of tea as a Valentine's Day read. So looking forward to it. And then the last book that I just had to pick up because I've been wanting this book forever, and it was the beginning of the year, and I was with my friend, and she was encouraging me, and we were shopping, and why not? Sylvia Plath, The Collected Poems. I have Sylvia Plath. I have the bell jar. I have a short poem, like a short novella by Sylvia Plath, but I really wanted her collected poems. I also really want the Red Comet book, which is her biography, but this felt like right place, right time. I really want more Sylvia Plath in my life. I really want to read her poetry. So I was so happy to find it at Bula Books and purchase it to add it to my poetry collection. So that is my book haul. Thank you so much for watching, and I will hopefully be back again soon. Hasta la próxima.